Amazing. So you all brushed your teeth today. That's really amazing. What if I told you that the reason you had a minty fresh breath this morning is thanks to this gentleman called Claude C. Hopkins, who is was an American advertiser, and he had a really hard time selling a brand of toothpaste. And actually, he needed to convince people that brushing their teeth should be their daily routine. And back then, around 100 years ago, that wasn't really the case for most of the people. So actually, at the end of the day, he was able to get half of the American public to get into their behavior and repeatedly, day by day, start brushing their teeth and pay money for his toothpaste. It's quite impressive, I guess. And how did he do that? He was tapping into neuroscience and he was decoding the awesome power of habit. That was the magic. So we're gonna learn more about that as we move forward. And before we go there, for those who don't know me yet, let me just quickly give you a bit of a background. I'm really passionate about healthy lifestyle and also about leadership. I have 15 years corporate leadership experience, originally coming from Hungary, and for the last 13 years living the expat life in different countries. In coaching, I'm just for a couple of years, and part of my story is this book that you see there from Robin Sharma, The 5 AM Club. For me, that was the book which changed my life, basically. Not the book itself, but all the wisdom and knowledge, first of all, implementing all those. Really, it was life-changing, especially when I was in a very bad place in the corporate world, full of frustration, and just didn't really see the way out until I discovered a lot more about myself and how life can be very different than that. So the book is called The 5 AM Club. And whenever I tell people about my morning routine being disciplined part of the 5 AM Club, 95% of the time I get the feedback, oh, that's super cool. I'm just not a morning person. So how many of you is not a morning person? You can just type in the chat. If you are, just say me, not a morning person. Maybe all of you are. That's quite amazing. That's why you are here, right? And just to tell you a little secret, I have never been a morning person either. Okay, Nias, there you go. I've never been before a morning person, but thanks for getting to know more about how habits and routines are being created. I was able to implement and really make it part of my life. And in the meantime, I'm really extremely enjoying the process and the peaceful time at 5 AM every morning. So a little bit what happened after corporate, I went into the coaching field. I got certified as transformational nutrition coach, as transformational life coach, leadership coach, and emotional intelligence coach. And I keep going. And at the meantime, also brought to life my company called LIVVITY, Maximize Your Wellbeing. And just to give you a little bit insight what that is all about, LIVVITY ignites your flow of energy, maximizing your well-being. So our true mission is to create a happier and healthier society on the long run. LIVVITY, as the word, means the life force energy, which flows through all of us, human beings and any other living creatures. The philosophy is based on 4 key pillars, which surprisingly has been inspired by Robin Sharma and the 5 AM Club, having his own consent to use the wordings only. So the 4 key pillars are, one is mindset, which is the way we think and develop ourselves, including personal growth, career, job positions, and financials as well. The second part is health set, which is our physical well-being. Exercise, sleep, nutrition, and medical as well all belongs here. The third section is soul set, which is spirituality in the meaning of relationships. First and foremost, your relationship to yourself, to others, and to a higher being, whatever it means for you. Last but not least, fourth pillar is heart set, which is all about emotions. How aware you are of your emotions, how well are you able to manage them, and how well you are able to recognize and to respond to the emotions of others. So all these come under this pillar. Just a snapshot. Some technicalities before we dive in. Please keep yourself muted until we come to the end. If any question, any concern, please just drop it in the chat so that the flow can keep going. Cameras, as you feel comfortable. If you put it on, it's great. Nice to see that some people are in the room. If not, it's also fine. Whatever just feels right for you. Please do yourself a favor and put the phones away. I really prepared some powerful messages and knowledge, and I want you to take the most out of it. And you can only do that if you can keep focus for just about another 50 minutes. So please stay focused and just don't look at the Instagram now. It can wait an hour. If any questions, drop into the chat or wait until the end. There will be some room for a bit of questions, answers, if you have anything to ask. Participate. I planned it really for an interactive session. There will be questions popping up here and there. So it would be amazing if we can have a little bit of conversation. We will not get bored throughout this short period of time. So please just take part of it and let's keep it interactive as much as possible. And don't forget to have fun. We are here to learn, but learning in a fun environment is really a different experience. So let's go with that. So today's topic, as you already know, all about habits. And my favorite mentor, Robin Sharma, says, awesome habits yield amazing results. So start some better ones today. It's a quite wise advice. So what you will get out of today's session, by the time we finish this webinar, you will be able to understand how habits shape your life. You will know why habits are so hard to break and what to do about it. So the real secrets to breaking bad habits, or good ones, but those we don't want to break. How to create lasting changes. And I will tell you also 5 small habits that will transform your life if you choose to implement them. So I hope you are all ready. Let's dive in. And before we go to the next one, question to all of you. What is the one most challenging habit for you right now that you are kind of stuck with? Maybe it's like never getting to exercise, or trying to lose weight forever, not going anywhere, trying diet after diet, or procrastinating all the time. Maybe it's some behavior. Maybe you are not able to get up earlier or go to bed earlier. Anything that comes to your mind, quickly just drop it into the chat. So that we can have some ideas. What are the things that you feel like, that could be a little bit useful for me here? Anyone would like to share? Going to bed on time. Yeah, okay. Then we will keep an eye on it as it keeps coming. Exercising. Yeah, that's usually a big one. Awesome. So hopefully you will get some tips and tricks. Another exercise. Amazing. Okay. How to get the ball rolling. So John C. Maxwell is one of the most popular leadership experts in the world. And he says, you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret to your success is found in your daily routine. And how true this is. We are actually habit-making creatures. So here is a question, can you guess what is the role of establishing habits? Like, how do they serve us and our bodily functions? What's the point of having habits in our nature? If anyone has any idea, otherwise I will certainly disclose. Because they are there for a reason. Automation, yeah, that's the right track. Yeah, so creating habits is actually a way for our brain to save energy and to be as efficient as possible. Because it's super interesting, but the human brain is the most complex creature in the known universe. It's such a beautiful statement. But if you think about it, our brain only makes up about 2% of our total body mass, and it consumes 25% of the oxygen intake. And in addition, it also takes in about 20% of the calories, what we consume. So it's quite powerful. It's a very hungry, yeah. So the brain is having even its special diet that may be more about in a next webinar. So if you stay till the end, talking about breaking bad habits, building good habits, you will have a special opportunity to go deeper and discover even more about yourself. So you don't want to miss this. Make sure that you stay till the end and you will find out more about it. So a couple of interesting facts about habits and routines, just to get a better understanding about those. Anyone has an idea what is at all the difference between habits and routines? Because often I believe we change these words interchangeably, but they have actually quite a different meaning. Habits and routines. Would have said the same. Yeah, it's not the same. So habits are actually automated. They are running from the subconscious totally. We don't recognize even that we are doing it. The way how you get out of bed in the morning, or the way how you brush your teeth, or the way how you fill up a glass with some water. You don't think about it, how to do it, you just go with it. So it comes all on full automation. When we speak about routines, it is, however, more intentional. So there, you will need to have some intention and discipline behind it. You will need to take a more conscious decision to go to the gym, to go for that hiking over the weekend, or to follow through your diet, what you wanted to take on. So that's the difference between habits and routines. And basically, routines is the way of creating habits on the long run. We are using conscious decisions to create habits which are running out of the subconscious on the long run. So here are a couple of facts which are quite interesting and good to know about. Almost half of the stuff what we do throughout the day is driven by habits, full on automation. Most of the time we think that we are super conscious about our decisions, and actually half of the time that's not the case. We just go with the flow. It comes all from the subconscious based on the habits that we engraved in our brains. Your life is to a large extent the outcome of all of your habits, right? So the way, for example, how happy or how unhappy you are, that's a result of your habits. Or how successful or unsuccessful you are, that's a result of your habits, and that list goes on. So everything that we do, from procrastination and productivity to strength and nutrition, starts with better habits. So when you learn to transform your habits, you can actually transform your life. It's that simple, not easy. Next one, the habits never truly disappear. You may overpower it with new habits, but they will not disappear. as such. If you practice self-acceptance daily, that something has been proven by a survey that it is the one thing that causes most people's happiness. So remember, self-acceptance is a keyword here. And cravings is something which is necessary for a habit. So our brain must crave something before it will establish a new habit, all in all. And last but not least, habits are perpetuated by a story that runs in our mind. And here I have a small coaching tip for you. Look for your thoughts that start with I need, I can't, I have to, or if I don't do something, then what? When you look for those cues, these are actually stories you tell yourself that convince you to play out a pattern that you know that doesn't serve you. So investigate, try to catch these thoughts and investigate so that you can see and question them whether they are true and how do they serve you. That's a very interesting one to look out for. Now let's look into the science of how habits actually work and how they come to stand. So there are many very interesting books out there in the topic of habits and routines. My two favorite ones are the ones from Charles Duhigg, The Power of Habit, one of his best-selling books, and the other one is from James Clear, Atomic Habit. Highly recommended both. These both gentlemen basically talking about the same with a little bit different wording, and one is talking about it in 3 steps, another one is in 4 steps. But the logic is exactly the same. So what you see here is called the habit loop. And this is exactly what is happening with everything that we do on habitual basis. So the very first step is the cue. The cue is a situational trigger that is based on a reward that you are seeking. So the reward will be the outcome at the end. The cue will trigger your brain that it has to initiate a certain behavior. It's just something very small information maybe that will predict a reward. And it can be a time, it can be feeling, it can be anything linked to our senses. Let's say you go to the mall smelling cinnamon, then you will look for cinnamon and then suddenly you are craving for it. So that habit loop starts to be created, right? The second part is the routine, which is a physical or emotional action you take to obtain the reward at the end of the loop. And the reward is at the end of the loop. So that is the satisfaction itself that you are seeking for. And this cue routine reward habit loop is going on and on and on thousands of times every single day. That is what is happening, and that's the first step towards understanding where habits and routines come from, how they come together. Now, how to break a bad habit? Like in this example, where you have afternoon time, you can see here that's the cue, the clock is showing it's afternoon. You feel tired, right? That's also a trigger. And then you think about, oh, I want to be focused again. I need to be productive here this afternoon. So you are looking for that refreshment at the end of the habit loop. And then you start thinking of a strong coffee. And then you realize that you don't really want to drink that much of coffee, especially not in the afternoon, because then you will not be able to sleep well enough. So you want to change that habit. What to do about it? Here is the trick. So the first step is to map out your habit loops. You need to understand what is the cue, what is the routine, what is the reward. The routine itself is usually very easy to identify, but it may take some time and some reflection and questioning what exactly triggers you to make that action so that you get what for this. What is the satisfaction you are seeking for? So it's very important to identify the cue and the reward around the routine itself. And when you do that, then make sure while defining the new routine habit loop, then you keep the cue and you keep the reward as well. And change the routine. Keep the cue, keep the reward. So it's afternoon time, I feel tired, I need to get focused again, I want to feel refreshed. What to do about it? I don't want to drink coffee. So you decide next time you get this, feel this urge and craving, you rather go out for a walk for 10 minutes to the fresh air. Soon, even in Dubai, fresh air is coming, finally. So you can go out for a walk, or if you are at home, maybe you can take a 20 minutes afternoon nap, and you will feel at least as refreshed afterwards as you would do so after a strong coffee. All right, so keep the cue, keep the reward, change the routine. And take one step at a time, always baby steps, and we'll talk about this even more. So, the habit installation protocol. How long does it take to establish a habit as per your current knowledge? Until you find it out, I see a question how to best capture such thoughts. If you mean for the habit loop, Tommy, you mean that for the habit loop? Yeah, it's a lot of reflection actually, because it comes from the subconscious. Often it's very difficult to identify. So it takes a lot of awareness and questioning yourself, trying out different things. So you may guess around that when you are grabbing a piece of chocolate in the afternoon, what is triggering you? You are not hungry, so you can forget about it. Maybe you are just bored. You can check your state of being. Are you bored? Yes or no? Then you can disclose it. Then you go through the ideas, you know yourself the best, and then you can go through variations of what it might be until you find the one which will lead you to the real trigger and the real cue. It might take some effort. It's not easy to identify actually. Okay, I see 3 weeks, 21 days, 1 month, 1 week. Okay. So I have some surprising news for all of you. Again, yeah. Another wise thought from my favorite mentor: all change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. Now, here is the habit installation protocol. Actually a minimum of 66 days. And it's not just a made up number. Actually, it's researchers at the University College of London in 2009, I believe, made a study, and their question was, how long does it take to establish a new habit? And they asked several students to take on various exercise and diet goals, and for a certain period of time, and they were monitoring their progress throughout and measuring, of course, after how long this activity became actually a habit. And the results suggest that it takes an average of 66 days to acquire a new habit, but the full range went actually from 18 up until 254 days. So it's really a huge number, right? So that 66 days was just represented as a sweet spot. That's usually what works for most. It's also not a black and white number. That's a direction to consider. So it's 66 days. And Robin Sharma in the 5 AM Club very wisely described in each and every stage what exactly is happening. So I will give you some hint that that first stage, as you can see on the screen, is a rough 22 days. So that 3 weeks, 21 days, what you are all talking about, that is only for breaking the habit. That's only the destruction phase of the habit installation period. So as he mentioned, all change is hard at first, because if it wasn't difficult at the start, then it wouldn't really be a real change, right? It's supposed to be hard because you are rewriting the past patterns of your mind and you are destroying old ways of operating. So it just makes sense that it will not be easy. Here is another question. Do you have an idea why the space shuttle uses more fuel in the first 60 seconds than after liftoff it uses over the entire orbit around the Earth? Why is that? It uses more in the first 60 seconds after liftoff than over the entire time after that. It's because it needs to overcome the powerful forces of gravity, right? After it takes off, and it requires a huge amount of fuel. It's that simple. And once it does, the momentum will kick in and the craft just goes. And if you reflect, the first phase of creating a new habit is precisely like that. So you need to overcome your deeply ingrained habits, and you need to rise above your own forces of gravity, so to say. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And here you need to continue at all costs. If you drop the ball after 21 days, then you will not have it yet. You will not have it yet. You need to go on. Okay? In the second phase, that's the installation. So it is like going through an internal renovation, pretty much. That stage is very tricky. It will make you feel super confused, stressed out, frustrated. You just want to give up. You just want to quit. That's all you can think about. And it's extremely important to continuously keep your biggest motivation, your long-term goal in front of your eyes. It has to be at hand, because that's the one that can remind you why you are doing it, first of all. Because you need to overcome these challenges. And when you know the process, when you know what to expect, then you really can prepare yourself for it, and it will give you an additional push that, okay, I know this will take another 3 weeks and then I'm good to go. Then I'm in the finish line, right? Trust the process and keep going, and you will know you will get closer to the winning line. And then when you are there at stage 3, that's the integration, the final stage. It's when it all comes together. So here you will experience the benefit of your discipline and your amazing commitment to take on a new habit. So it's time for success, time to celebrate very soon. Okay, so that's pretty much what the habit installation look like. Never give up after 21 days, keep going. And actually, I have experienced that big time when I implemented the 5 a.m. club. I never got up early before. I loved sleeping in until 7, 8, weekends, 10, 11, half day was already gone. And then I decided very quickly as I was reading it to just implement, and I kept getting up 4:30 a.m. every single morning, and it was super hard, but that was really the process. And now I love doing it. So yeah, that's about the protocol. Now, what are the couple of truths behind excellent habits? What is it that you need to build those amazing habits that will serve you well? First and foremost, willpower. It's like a skill, it's a muscle that you develop. So the more you practice, the more stronger it will become. Very similarly with discipline. The more you stretch it, the stronger it grows as well. Then recovery is another keyword here, because when you stretch your willpower too long, you will get tired, and it's essential to take some time for recovery so you can go with it again. And then the next one is following the 3-part pattern for the automation. the installation protocol. And last but not least, practicing the self-control, which if you practice it in one area of life, it will automatically elevate all the rest of the life domains as well. So willpower, discipline, recovery, pattern of automation, self-control. That's all you need to remember here. So based on what you have learned so far, it's time to shine for you. How long does it take to break a habit? Put it in the chat. How long does it take to break a habit? You just learned it. Yes, 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 22 days. 22 days, exactly. How long does it take to install a new habit? Who remembers well? Remember distraction, how the stages came, installation, integration. So the installation will be the second phase, means 22 plus 22, that means 44. And until it comes to the level of automaticity, which actually means that when you reach that point, how you will know that you implemented the habit is that it will be so much easier to do it than not to do it. You will feel bad when you don't do it because you are craving for doing it, right? When you start going out for a run every day, or you will suffer in the beginning. And when you keep doing it and it becomes a habit, one day for some reason you cannot do it, it will feel really bad. Yeah, so break a habit, 22 days. Install a new habit, plus 22, so means 44. And until it comes to the automaticity, 66 days, all in all. All right. Now, here is another very important aspect to habits, and that's about the activation energy of new habits. And this is how it looks. It's from James Clear, actually. It's his example. If you think about chemistry, the more difficult it is for a chemical reaction to occur, the bigger the activation energy, right? And for habits, it's the same story. So the more difficult or complex a behavior, the higher the activation energy that is required to start it. And here it's a really nice example with the push-up. If you decide to start doing push-ups and you have never done it before, if you start with just one every day, you commit, you're gonna do just one single push-up every day. How big is the activation energy? It's pretty low, right? Exactly, that tiny. So it will be very likely that you will do it. On the other side, if you say, well, as of today, I'm gonna do 100 push-ups every single day because I just wanna get strong, well, then you really need a big energy to just start doing it. And it's very likely that you might be excited on day 1, day 2, day 3. Latest there, you will drop the ball. You will not gonna do it anymore because you need too much energy to go into it. So the smaller habit will require a smaller activation energy, and it will make it a lot more sustainable. When you take a complex, too big step at a time, then it's like a suicide pretty much. It's a surefire failure, more or less. Okay, so this is why it's so important to go with baby steps. And here are the key points to how to win the process, how to create those lasting changes, right? Lesson number 1, back to the previous page, one step at a time. Focus on one habit only and take one baby step at a time. And you will see that it will be so much easier. Tommy just finished push-up challenge. Ah, congrats, amazing. Well done. Okay, one step at a time. Lesson 2, add a catalyst to your new habit. Okay, so catalyst is basically a substance that speeds up a chemical reaction, right? So it will lower the activation energy and it will just make it a little bit easier for the reaction to occur. What could it be for the habits? For example, choose your environment wisely, or surround yourself with the right people who will support you on the journey. If it's about exercise, running, put your running shoes next to your bed in the evening, so when you get up in the morning, you jump right into it and go run. There are tactics, but these are the things meant under apply some catalyst into the process. The third one is get prepared for obstacles. You know yourself the best. You are the expert on yourself, okay? So analyze a little bit and reflect, what is it that might hold you back from doing that new habit every day? For example, if you decide that you will want to go for a gym exercise after work, and you know that your friend might just call you up and invite you for a drink, if you are not prepared, you may just buy into it and leave that painful gym on the side and there is another tomorrow, right? But if you are prepared for that and you know that may happen and you decide upfront that you will tell the friend that, sorry, I'm going to the gym, you wanna join, you are most welcome. If not, we can have a drink afterwards or maybe tomorrow. Then you will have a prepared strategy how to respond to such situations. And you can prepare for all kinds of scenarios. It's extremely helpful. The fourth one is have a support system. Right people around you, have an accountability body, maybe, whether it's then spouse or friends or colleagues, team up. It will be even a fun game can be made out of it. So there are plenty of opportunities to make it successful. And celebrate small wins as well. We usually just wait forever to have some real big, huge win, and then I will deserve to have a bit of a celebration. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't mean that go and party for 3 days. It can just be a bit of a tap on the shoulder, or, you know, have a nice tea and just reflect that, oh yeah, I made this, I'm so proud of myself. Appreciate yourself, because your body and mind will understand that you appreciate the process and it will support you even more while moving forward. Okay, so this is the secret recipe towards successful habit installation. Now, here are 5 small habits which, if you implement, if you choose to implement, it will easily transform your life. So let's see what are those. What do you think what I mean by this picture? It's a bed. Get enough rest. Nah, not exactly. What could it be? Small habit. Okay, I will tell you. Make your bed every morning. Okay? Make your bed every morning. What's the point? Well, when you do that, it takes you like 30 seconds maybe, and then you look at it and you feel satisfied. And you already achieved a small success. You started the day with a success. So you set yourself up for even more success on a bigger scale for the day. Make your bed every morning. The second one is 2-minute rule, okay? And this is what the baby step means. Starting a new habit should never take longer than 2 minutes to do. And you will find nearly any habit is possible to slice it so small that it will become just 2 minutes. For example, you want to read a book before go to bed, how it will become a 2-minute rule. You decide, you commit to just read 1 page before sleeping. So that 1 page you can pretty much finish in 2 minutes. or when it's about your goal is to run 3 miles in one go, but you never did before. So your 2 minutes will be to just tie your running shoes, put it on, tie the shoes, then you can get it off again. Because the point is to master the habit of showing up. It's all about that, just to show up, because you have to establish a habit first before it can be improved. Okay, so first show up for yourself, for the habit, and then improve step by step, always baby steps. Okay. Third one, planning. That's one of my favorite. Schedule your day, schedule your week. If you ask me, have a someday goal, have a 5 years goal, a 3 years goal, 1 year, quarter, monthly, weekly, daily, and every hour you know exactly why you do, what you do, how you do, and how it serves you on the long run. It's extremely powerful. It gives you an amazing peace of mind, clarity, and a huge motivation, because you just know why you are doing what you are doing. So incorporate some planning, and ideally have a weekly and daily planning in place. The next one is, what about the cup? Is it half full or is it half empty? And that's about self-care. Prioritize practicing self-care. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. Can be, doesn't have to be. Choose one small thing every single day that can serve you well, and that you care about yourself, you only. And it can be just practicing saying no to things what you don't want to say yes to, or helping out someone, or going for a walk and having some mindful walking, just you yourself alone. Anything, it can be something very small, but do something, one thing for yourself every single day and nurture yourself. Last but not least, practice gratitude. It's so powerful. Take just 3-4 minutes every morning, ideally. Put it in writing, take a journal book and put down 3 things what you are truly grateful for, and feel it. Because feeling this gratitude, it puts you up in such a frequency which will set the tone for the day, in a positive manner, of course, and it will bring you in such a state of being that it will be a lot more difficult to take you down on the road of stress or to have any conflict with anyone. So it will really help you to stay in a good place throughout the day. And very often we forget to be thankful or grateful for things which we just take granted, you know, like I'm so grateful that I woke up again for another day, that the sun is shining, that I am healthy. Like, you know, small things which are actually seems to be small until we have it. And once we don't have it, then we realize what value is there in it. So practice gratitude. Okay. Now it's time for you to take action. I hope that you learned so far a lot. We are not yet done, but I want you to now implement a little bit out of those what we have spoken about so far. So take a piece of paper, hopefully you have something close by, and just identify 5, it can be even just 3 current habits that do not serve you well, and write it down. I give you a minute to do that. Just a couple of current habits that do not serve you well. And you can even just note down the points and you can come back to it. If you need a little more time to think about it, then take it with you and take use of it for yourself. And once you have those, then choose one habit out of those which you would like to work on, where you would like to make some changes in your life. choose the one habit, and it could be the ones which you have mentioned already, the exercise ones, right? It was popping up a couple of times. Choose one. Next step, identify the cue and the reward. And that's probably not a 2-second exercise. So this is something to take a note of and work on it for yourself. Question it, become aware more and more what is triggering the habit of maybe not doing something, or doing something but not in a way how you would like to really do it consciously, and identify the cue and the reward. And then define your action. What is the one smallest step you can take as of today to change this habit for good? And remember the 2 minutes rule. Okay, one small baby step for this habit you can take as of today to change it for good. So this is your action plan. And if you had any aha moments so far, I would love to hear that also, or see that in the chat. If you share, that's amazing. All right, so we'll be moving on from here. 2 minutes rule is great. Awesome. Now, if you want to level up, there are plenty of opportunities to take in the month of October. I'm planning 4 workshops in 4 different areas. So if you feel that you have any habits, routines, or just in general challenges in the area of productivity, focus, distractions, then this might be for you. That's next week, Tuesday evening from 7 p.m. live, face-to-face, not online, easily accessible in 1 tower on Sheikh Zayed Road, even from metro, direct access. Workshop is called Learn to Manage Yourself, Not Your Time. And there will be plenty of tools, also worksheets, knowledge sharing all around how to become more productive, how to be more focused, and how to find the right priorities in that messy life we are living nowadays. The second option is the week after, or opportunity. It's more going into the diet, the performance, the brain power. It's called Be Smart, Eat Smart, and Level Up Your Performance. It's all intertwined, all interconnected. Nutrition, in my eyes, is also holistic. You nurture not just your body, you do so with your mind, with your soul, so that it becomes a whole, healthy being when everything is in the right place. So the second one is 11th October, all about diet, performance, brain power. Be smart, eat smart, level up your performance. The third one, the week after, every Tuesday we are going more into emotional intelligence, decision, stress, awareness, managing emotions. So this is called Become a Memorable Leader and Impact Your Followership. So all the programs are designed for leaders, and leaders are all those who would like to be followed by others. And it may be your children for you, it may be your colleagues, your peers, or your team, your organization. It can be really at any level. So if you would like to be leading by example, then this is definitely for you. And the fourth and last opportunity is more about the cup, which is either half full or half empty. So the question is how to make it half full rather than empty, right? Self-care, mindfulness, leading by example, building up a strong support system, having healthy coping strategies, a lot of information and fun activities around these. So here is the deal. So the 4 workshops in October, you can get them all together for $795 instead of the $1,060, since the single workshops are at the price of $265. Okay. If you sign up today, you have an extra bonus, which is a 1-hour full coaching session, personalized individual session with myself in a value of 900 dirhams. So alone, that is already a no-brainer, because that session worth more than for what you get the overall package. But then you get a second bonus as well if you sign up today, and today only. Tomorrow it's not valid anymore. And here you go. You can give someone a gift and invite for free once you have signed up. So if you do so today, only for those who attend this webinar, you can gift someone, do something nice for someone, a loved one, your spouse, your colleague, your friend, and gift that workshop to him or her. So they will love you. And here is the booking link. That's livvity.shop. It's very easy to find. I will also link it in here in the chat. This is where you will find all the options. And yeah, this is the special deal for today if you would like to move forward. And that was it from my side. And we have 5 minutes left. If any question, you can even unmute yourself. Anything, maybe even what is it you would like to hear more of? Thank you for the applause. I'm definitely planning to do these webinars more often, so that you will have the opportunity to get value and knowledge, even without just having the paid sessions. It's really nice to connect and learn in a community. Yeah, recording. That can be shared, that's for sure. So amazing. If no questions, then thank you so much, everyone, for attending, for showing up for yourself, first of all. Really appreciate all of you, and be proud of yourself. I hope you will take use of it. And yeah, have fun with building new healthy habits. And if you need any further assistance, you know where to find me. It's livvity.coach on the website, livvity.coach on Instagram, under my name, as well as under Livvity on LinkedIn. So plenty of places, you find me all over there. And yeah, looking forward to connecting soon. Have a great evening, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.